If you want to see an unwilling groom or a shoveler go boom, a boy who knows music, or a sis who gives bruises, a dad who gets soaked, and a doggy that's stoked. Then stick around for life's funniest moments, where we'll meet a baby-kissing bandit, a dog who takes his owners for a drive, a man who doesn't realize he's taking a powder, a father and bride have their first break dance, a cat with his own chauffeur, and a boy who's finally beat his Rubik's Cube. All on life's funniest moments. Get ready, you're in for some good times. Look at that cat going for a ride. Just taking in the sights. Yeah, you figured he'd take the dog's advice, but now that he has...
There he is, going for a ride.
What's all the fuss about sticking your face out of the car window? And here we see Zelda the Psychic searching through the house for a box of bandages. Man, she's good. I don't want to say this is a sign Reggie doesn't want to get married, but it may explain why he answered the question, do you take this woman to be your wife, with a get back to me. Jack's teammates didn't understand it was appropriate to drench him when they won the big game, but not when he's getting married. They all said Elmer was too old to keep up with his young bride. But what they didn't know is they were right. Bill should have gotten some sleep before the wedding. He also asked the wedding cake to dance. A wedding is a great opportunity to meet guys. Or scare them off. Bobby just had his first lesson in shoveling the walk. But he can't wait for tomorrow's lesson on icing it. And here's Dad helping the kids take down a pool toy. The lesson? No good deed goes undrenched. Suck in that laughing gut, 'cause you're in training. Why are both of these dogs leaping after this rope? Well, the answer is actually rather complicated, but I'll try to break it down in dog language. Rope good. Rope good. This may not look that impressive, but Vegas agrees. These two are odds-on favorites to win, so you think you can ride a skateboard carrying a bird. This little terrier is a tetherball champion. Because he's aggressive, he's focused, and tetherball is super easy. Coming up, a biker who loses his grip, and a dog getting the walk of his life. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. This next section is so funny, even cats can't ignore it. Mrs. Whiskers got her eyes locked on that little car. After watching carefully like that, you know what this determined cat is finally gonna get? Yep, dizzy. Note to pet owners, make sure you're not right behind your kitty when using the air horn. This woman is practicing an Oriental form of self-defense. The object is to disable your enemy by making them laugh. What's strange about this clip? Wait, we don't have all night. Maybe it's just quicker to say what isn't strange about it. Unbelievable, uncommon, and unplugged. This fellow is searching for where he left those newspaper one ads. Because furniture designer just wasn't working out for him.
Okay, dork. Show us how you do it. Get on here.
This extreme pooch is really making waves, and even though he loves water skiing, he can't help but be a little distracted, because this is really cutting into his jet ski time.
There he is, folks. Sixth wonder of the world. Okay, we're gonna pull him in. He's gonna get off the ski and not even get wet.
At the Academy for Future Belly Dancers of America, they take practice time very seriously. Despite his wife's warnings, Mr. Gibbons isn't scared to ride his son's bike. Just watch him pop a wheelie. And an eardrum. This little girl has got her hands on the ball and... Oh, you thought dodgeball was tough where you're from. Here's a guy excited to be out for a day on the water with his dog. And now his favorite activity, playing fetch. But he got so excited he went for the stick himself. It was at this moment that Louis realized you have to use all the bolts in build-it-yourself bike kit. Bob's come up with a great prank that you can try around your office. All you need is a big cardboard box, a little patience, and an updated resume when you're canned for pulling this on the boss. The good news, you've already got a box to take your belongings home. You know how most husbands wait till January or February to take down the Christmas tree? Well, this guy avoids the whole problem by taking it down on Christmas. We don't want to say Corbett County has a tough driver's test, but this part is ridiculous. And you don't even want to see the written portion. Actually, this is Jacob's third try, and he made it all the way to the parking lot, and wouldn't you know it, a fender bender. Coming up, a boy who thinks he's a fish, and some movers take the path of most resistance. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. These next few clips are for the kids. This young kid is amazing. It takes him only 5 seconds to beat this Rubik's Cube. You don't believe this? Just watch. See? How cute are these clips, you're wondering? So what do you want? You want the cute? Well, you can't handle the cute. This dog may look like he's playing with these bubbles. but he just doesn't like anything that reminds him of a bath. Here are a couple of friends working in the barn stacking hay and whoops. This is not the way you want to find a needle in a haystack. This little boy is so sweet. He wants to give his baby brothers a kiss. But first he had to remove those pacifiers in the way. Just a little advice to this kid. Do not try this with Mommy and chocolate. The Orions trained their dog to take their 3 kids to school. One snack. By the time they get there, they'll be in college. This is a really amazing trick. Because there's no glass there. He's just a great mime. That baby's making a lot of noise. But give him a break. You'd be crying too if you just realized you had 3 older brothers. Progress was slow, but the boy was patient. If it took 3 months, he would teach that dog to spread hair all over the carpet. Now watch as this little girl teaches her brother a whole new definition of the term computer crash. This boy's only 2½, but everyone agrees he has a real ear for music and a foot for music. And, all right, well, you get the idea. These 2 industrious guys are looking to make money any way they can, whether as professional movers or junk dealers. If you've had a tough day, sit back and get easily amused. This guy takes the prank well. Mostly because with that blindfold on, he doesn't realize he's being videotaped. You know why this dachshund keeps hitting back that tennis ball? Because it's covered with dog spit. So this is how the Easter Bunny gets milk chocolate in those eggs. No question about it.
Poor thing is dead.
Terminator 6 is gonna go straight to video. Coming up, a classic case of mower rage. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. The bad news, this guy can't spend Sunday cutting his lawn. The good news? Oh wait, that is the good news. See you next time.